Foul is Fair, Chapter 23, A Clash of Swords. The golems paused as if reassessing their opponent, then started in motion again. Justin moved to one side, moving inside the reach of the next sword swing, lashing out with the magic sword towards the boot golem's leg. The metal impacted with a resounding clang, leaving a shallow scar in the metal of the golem's leg. The golem's own sword came down without a hitch, and Justin barely got the Clive Solish up in time to block just enough to let him stagger out of the way. Megan ran to try to support Lanny, then looked to Justin as he made two more swipes at the golems, the impacts ringing off their legs. "Shouldn't that have, cut its leg off or something?" Megan asked Lanny. "You'd think, but we have to focus. The maidens need to go rescue the brave knight now." "Right," Megan agreed, searching for a few moments until she found Aisling, scooping up the exhausted pixie and holding on. Justin's resistance and the flaming sword at least kept the pair of golems' attention, but he still had no luck. Each time, he had to dodge out of the way of the counterattacks quickly. "It isn't working!" Lonnie yelled as they rushed for him. "Run!" Justin fended off another attack, staggering under the impact, but at least much better suited to fighting now that he had the invulnerable blade. As soon as he caught his balance, Justin received a brief respite when the Count dive-bombed the hand golem. The crow was barely able to bank out of the way of its next swing. As Justin ran past the distracted golem to join the girls, the Count flew after them, having to flap hard just to regain enough altitude to stay off the floor. "Where to?" Megan said as they sprinted, her glance at the door not only confirming that it was still blocked, but that behind the tower golem, reinforcements were arriving. The room would likely be full of golems soon. "The stage!" Lanny yelled, running ahead at the damaged stage and pulling herself up onto it. "We'll be trapped!" Megan called after her, but she followed anyway, helping Justin up. The delay almost cost both of them as a sword came crashing down on the floor just behind them. "No, he won't! I have a trick!" Lonnie called, heading for the dressing room, the door hanging from one hinge. "I thought fairy magic couldn't work," Megan said, rushing through the door after her. Lonnie waved Justin and the Count through. "Sure, but Houdini will work fine. Justin, attack!" "But the golems are—" Yes, Lonnie agreed, but the back wall here is just wood." By the time the golems smashed through the wall to the dressing room, they found a hole carved into the back wall. Navigating through the hall and back into the streets wasn't easy, with quite a few of the golems having been drawn by the grating bellows. Most of them had been drawn to the main hall, but a few still patrolled. Finding the doorways blocked, with another bellow from a sentry setting new golems chasing them, the group ran up the stairs, managing to duck into an empty side room just at the top before another golem could reach them and trap them on the stairs. Lanny ran to the window, checking to make sure the outside was clear before Justin smashed through it with the sword. With more golems in pursuit, they jumped out the window, each wincing from the impact on injuries before sprinting to the nearest alleyway. After a few more twists and turns, the sounds of golem footsteps faded behind them. Justin finally chanced smashing out another window before he accepted help climbing through. Once inside, the group collapsed, almost as one, trying to catch their breath. They only really relaxed at all, though, once the first golem patrols passed them by, ignoring the broken window. As soon as she'd caught her breath, Lonnie turned to Megan. "How did you know about the sword and the chair?" "What about them?" "That they'd keep guarding the chair and not chase us after we got the sword?" "Oh, that. It was a guess. The Queen's story sounded like the sword might have been put there later, so when they were built, the golems were like the rest of this place. Just a taunt. Their job was guarding the ruler's chair or whatever. Later, whoever brought the sword in just figured they could get two things guarded with one trick." "Good guess." "Speaking of questions," Megan said, glancing at Justin, "why do you keep going for their legs? You're tallish. I know I'm tall, but that's how it's done. Always go for the legs with a sword like this. Well, granted, he was an expert on what to do with a sword. Why? Less armor there. Megan paused, blinking. Justin, they're solid metal robots. I noticed, he agreed, resheathing the sword. So it won't cut them. What now? Megan asked. Lonnie and Justin exchanged a glance, then nodded at one another, at some unspoken, practical person agreement. We get bandaged up and walk out of the city, Lonnie said. We have what we came for. Oh, right, Megan said, before moving to help bandage Lonnie's side first. With Lonnie's side bound, Megan's leg bandaged, Justin's arm sling adjusted and rewrapped, and Aisling and the Count on Megan's shoulders, they made their way to the city gates again. This time, while noises echoed through the streets still, they didn't have any more close calls, or even see any of the golems. Their luck ran out when they finally came within sight of the gates. Thankfully, they saw the golems before they were seen, and ducked back around the corner. Peering out, they were able to see where the creatures had gone. They were lined up along the fence, one every 25 feet or so, standing sentry. What are they doing? Megan asked. We're not just pests anymore. Someone invaded the main hall and escaped, Lonnie said. They're making sure no one gets out.